Hi everybody, Marty Rubin, and I'm back for another segment on Marty's Corner. And we have two guests today. How lucky are we? Two guests, right? They're already making me laugh up here before we started. But we have Brian Owen, who is playing the hardworking mama's boy, who should be paying a little more attention to his girlfriend Rosie.
Debatable.
And we have Bevin Bell-Hall, who is playing the, shall we say, overbearing, guilt on my son, mom, Mrs. Mae Petersen and Albert Petersen.
Yes, I do feel like I have to come to her defense. It's not guilt.
Just in your blood right now.
Yeah, it's just it's good old-fashioned parenting.
Yeah.
You know, it's caring.
Yes.
It truly is caring.
Yes, it's love.
Smothering is caring.
It's love. It's love. Absolutely. So Brian,
Yeah.
we last saw you on the Argyle Theater stage in Cabaret, playing a Nazi.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're playing Albert Petersen, this zany, fun physical actor. I mean, you can't be typecast when you're. This is like two separate ends of the spectrum. You know, I find that it says a lot about your talent. That you could go, you know, very stern, mean. Everybody hates you to such a lovable character. So I give you credit for that.
Well, first of all, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. And one of the things I have to say is it's like, thank the art of musical theater, which, you know, within the same realm of communication, there are people who are singing about how they feel, what they want. You're getting a lot of the same, you're telling the same type of story,
Right.
but in completely different tones
Right.
in different ways. But we're using the same tools.
Right.
And so thank the art of musical theater. Thank the Argyle for having enough like varied and interesting programming
Yes,
that
yes.
you know I can come and do Cabaret and also do Bye Bye Birdie. But also on top of that, what I would say is what made Cabaret interesting for me is I tried to use all of the same likable, fun, physical tools that I'm using in Bye Bye Birdie.
Right.
Because that was the function of that character
Right.
in Cabaret, was to be this entrance into this fun world of Berlin at the time and get the audience on this guy's side.
Right. Well, I can
So
tell
that
you,
way, by the time
Break
when
apart,
the
right?
reveal
Yeah.
comes,
Right.
the fact that, no, not this person.
Right.
I can't believe.
But you're more loved in this show.
Well,
I
yes,
would
no,
say-
but it's like it's much easier. One, it's fun because I get to sing in
Yes.
this show. Like I
You do.
yeah, I get to sing.
Yes, and the only way you'd be singing as a Nazi would be if it was a Mel Brooks show, but you know.
I feel like
This
you've
would be
already
done
done
here.
that.
Yes, we've done
Yeah,
that. We've
yeah,
done that.
yeah,
We've done
yeah.
that. But that's exciting for us to see you back here. You know, and your character. What do you have to do what do you have to bring to the table to get the most out of Albert Petersen?
Ooh, that's a really interesting question. Thank you. You know, I think what you have to bring to the table, at least in this production that we're doing, I just have to bring myself, the way that this cast and ensemble understands the story, and then steps out and plays with each other with such vigor and imagination, and everyone just throws themselves into the story.
Yes.
It's like you kind of just have to show up and be like, okay, we know what this is, let's play.
Yes.
Like, let's really dig in. And what the other thing that I will say that you have to bring to this, and especially in the type of work that we're doing in this production, which is on one hand so, you know, over the top and
Yes.
Extreme. I mean, honestly sincere when Conrad Birdie is singing to all the fainting teenage girls. You know, it is bombastic and over the
Yes.
top.
Yes.
So what you also have to bring to it is a really keen sense of sincerity.
Yes.
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 Like that number kind of is the key to the whole clown aspect of this show, where it's like it has to be honestly sincere.
Yes.
You know.
Right. And
But
and you all pull it off here.
Yeah.
You do. You do it well. You do it well. Let me ask you, Bevin.
Yeah.
So, after the show, many times I always say goodbye to you on the way out, and, you know, and I tell you what a good job you've done. nobody recognizes you because.
I look a little different.
Yes, yes. So
yes.
when do you get into Mae Petersen mode? When you put the mink coat on, or the wig, or
a little bit when I'm looking in the mirror and I've got all the elements together. And one of the things that I really love about Mae is that she was a creation of so many different people. Like
Right,
I had my idea of her coming in, and Jen saw something slightly different based on her experiences. So
Right.
that was fun to integrate. And then playing with other people, like our relationship has evolved as we've been rehearsing.
Yes.
And then you put in wigs and makeup and costume, and everyone had different ideas of how she would end up. So the feeling has been the same for me since we stopped rehearsing, but I think it's like right there off stage. I take this moment right before I walk on and I just kind of step into her.
Right.
And that way I don't have to carry her
Right.
around with me
Right.
because she's
But
a
you
little
embody,
heavy.
I mean, you embody. You're playing somebody so much older than you.
Mhm.
Okay, and it's very believable. I mean,
Thank
the way you
you.
move, the way you talk, it's very believable. Did you study like the movie Maureen Stapleton, who played the part, or get
Little
inspiration
bit,
from
little bit,
that?
Yes.
Yes.
What I love about her is she has this ability to be both terrible and lovable, and that's a hard line to walk.
Yes,
And so that's where I get my inspiration, is watching those comedians who can be terrible and lovable.
Yes.
I take a lot of Carol Burnett into this one.
That's good stuff too. Did you, on the other hand, take a look at Dick Van Dyke and get him inspire you a little bit?
I mean, in all honesty, Dick Van Dyke is just burned into my brain from the type of child that I was, and that
Right. He's a legend.
No, absolutely a legend, and even just his sense of physical comedy is something that when I was a kid I would endlessly watch reruns of I Love Lucy and Dick Van
Same,
Dyke Show, him tripping over the couch in the opening credits is still like, it's just a beautiful physical gag.
Yes.
And so the man is burned in my
Pops
brain.
up very quickly. In
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, and so it's like, and then also just because this is, it's our Bye Bye Birdie. It's, it's a very different story than that. I didn't take a look at the Dick Van Dyke film. I saw it enough as a kid.
Right.
I know Dick Van Dyke, and there's no way you can kind of escape it
Right.
in certain parts
Right.
of it. But I wanted to be able to come in and be like, okay, no, this is our version, and,
Yes,
and
yes.
this is what we're doing.
Do you have to? I asked John Drinkwater, who plays Conrad Birdie, because he's so busy shaking his hips and getting crazy. What he has to do to get loose for that. But you are pretty physical out here. I mean, you're running on stage and scooting and falling and up and down. What do you have to do to get ready for a show?
So I do a full physical stretch, warm-up specifically focused on, like getting my hips opened up and loosened, because specifically I'm just doing a lot of stuff and put on a happy face that means if I take a fall and I'm tight there, it hurts.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I do a full physical warm-up before the show, full vocal warm-up before the show. The stage manager, she likes to make fun of me because I come in and I do what she calls like a wild Brian bird call, because I come in to start warming up. So I do a full thing, and then again at that point it's just kind of about connecting with everyone that we're going to be working with tonight.
Right.
I really like to take time with Sonia,
Yes.
who plays Rosie, because that relationship is really what fuels the entire show for
Yes.
me.
Yes.
So it's like I like to then go and start talking with the crew and start talking with the whole rest of the ensemble, just so I can be like, hey, how are we doing tonight? Let's
Right.
bring ourselves to the table and let's have some fun and play.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Bevin, did you know Brian before this production?
No, I don't think I knew anyone on this show before this production. It's been lovely getting to know you. It's
I
been
mean,
lovely getting to know everyone.
That floors me, because the two of you are like, toast and butter. I mean, whatever, did you know when you started rehearsing, oh yeah, we have this chemistry. I feel it. We
Yes.
can go over the top together.
Yes. Easy answer.
Yes.
I think Jen knew what she was doing.
Yes, yes.
I came in for a totally different character. I came in for Deb's character, the
okay.
McAfee mom.
Okay, okay.
And
I can see that too.
yeah, that'd be fun too. But when she handed me the sides for this, I was really hoping that this is where I would get to play. And then when Brian and I met each other, it was just instant chemistry. And I can see why she saw that and was like, oh, they make a family.
That's good. That's got to mean something to you to know, okay, I have trust in my partner here.
Well, yeah, and I will say, Jen Weinman, the director, she is very, very skilled at creating rooms and spaces where people really can feel comfortable with immediacy and be like, okay, we're gonna jump off this cliff together.
Yep.
Okay, let's just like really let's go. If we're gonna go, let's go. And I think one of the reasons why, like, if we have chemistry is just because you are such an expressive and just focused actor that it is so easy to then just be like, whew, this is what I'm getting? Okay, back at you.
Yeah.
And so it creates this really great sense of volley.
Yes.
And because both of us are always in for that volley,
Yes.
it's like,
Right.
that's where the chemistry
You have it
is.
twice. I mean, you have an unusual part that you with Rosie, Sonia, it's the same kind of dynamic. Your chemistry is tremendous, and I think that's got to be really exciting for you to have two of these fantastic relationships on stage.
It makes acting the easiest job in the world. Like, the adage is acting is reacting. But sometimes that's hard. Sometimes, like, actors aren't given anything
There's
to
nothing to
react on.
react
You're like,
to.
and so you have
Reacting
to
to
like
a wall.
create
Yes.
this
Yes.
map in your mind to be like, okay, this is right. No, with Sonia, with Bevin, it's just this effusive gift constantly of like, okay, here's a choice. Bevin has, I wish people could see from on stage, Bevin has these incredibly clear eyes that you can read every thought directly out of. And so when she's doing these endless monologues as Mama, it's like, I feel like there is so much just like output constantly being
Yes.
thrown.
Yes.
And so when you have that type of just like generosity from an actor, it just makes everything so easy.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
nice.
We talked about it too in terms of like tossing a ball back and
Yeah.
forth to each other. Because
Right.
that's really what it feels like. Is like if I give you something, I see how you react to it. You take it, you pass it back, and then we're volleying exactly.
Right. So as Marty's Corner fans, both of you, right? You know there's going to be a sports reference in there.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay. It's going to take me a little while, but it'll all come together for
Okay.
you. Okay. So in baseball, during the All-Star break, there's something called the home run derby. Okay, what that is batters compete against each other to hit the most home runs over the fence. They bring their own batting practice pitcher, because that pitcher is going to throw the ball right where they need it to be thrown at the right speed so that the batter can take a big home run swing. I'm bringing this back to theater now, all right? You say, thank God for that. So here, I'm bringing it back to theater, okay? I view you, Brian, in the scene where you have to get Bevin to be exasperated, frustrated, crazy, and if you do that, which you do every night, but if you do that, she's going to be able to put on the A1 guilt trip that's going to take this show to the next level. And that's what you're providing. You are the batting practice pitcher in that scene that's putting the ball right there for Bevin to smack that right out there. What does that feel like for you to know that you could count on him to put you in that mood, to do a monologue that the crowd just loves?
Oh, incredible. I mean, the amount of support that we have in our scenes and that this entire cast has for each other is really, really high. And that made it such a beautiful environment to rehearse in, and it makes it such a fun environment to do a show in, because it's a bunch of improvers. If anything happens, we know that we can cover it and that the audience will be with us.
Right.
And so that's amazing to be able to like feel fearless on stage and also to be able to bring people
Yes.
into this environment with us.
Yes, and it shows. I mean, everybody loves it. You know, you mentioned it before. I mean, it's a great feeling when you can take speaking to each other or the events that happened in the day and maybe use that a little bit, you know, for yourself, so that every performance isn't exactly the same. You know?
And it's like, I love it because, again, through rehearsals, through the tech process, we came to a sense of set structure of what the story is, what the staging is, all of that. And then we take the structure and it's like new every time.
Yeah.
And because it is a group of people who really relish that, it makes it, I think, I hope, not just for me, it's thrilling to do, that sense of electricity of like, oh, there's like actual stuff going on stage is present as well for the audience, that it makes it, you know, because I feel like I can see it, again, I'll go to Honestly Sincere, when John, you know, is just really shaking those hips and people really start fainting, and people in the audience, it's like watching them like get into it and
Yes.
do that. That's great. And then to take from that extreme and go to what Sony and I get to do in Rosie, which is just a lot of actual honesty, simplicity, and stillness for us to connect with each other.
Right.
And it's like, there are moments, and I love it, where you can feel the audience on the same type of electric wavelength as they have with
They're
the
taking the journey
John
with you,
hips,
you know?
you know, but for these moments of just like really earned sincerity.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and to your point about like
Thank you.
things that happen during the day and bringing that in, I think that that's completely valid too, because even though we live in this madcap world up here that seems very cartoonish, there's a lot of pathos in it. Everybody has a family.
Yes.
Everyone has dysfunction in their family. Everyone can relate to what the McAfees are going through and what the Petersens are going through, and bringing Rosie into our family. I think that's been one of the most wonderful things to me, is to talk to the audience every night afterwards, and people tell me their stories about who the Mae is in their life.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You're gonna miss your train if you every night. You know? So Bevin, you have a great song in the show that has got to be the guilt trip song of all time. You know,
Oh,
a mother
it's
doesn't
beautifully
matter
written.
anymore. I mean, it's so special. Could you sing a few bars for the Argyle Theater fans?
Well, of course. All right, you ready, Sonny?
I'm ready. I love this. This means they get like front row seat for what I get every single night.
That's right.
Because I have the best seat in the house
Ah.
for so many numbers in this show every
You
night.
do.
I
You're
get to
out
be
there the
right
whole
up here.
time. All right. With bunions on my feet, I trudge through snow and sleet to bring you licorice from the corner store. I sold my Tiffany lamp so that you could go to camp. Now a mother doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Come on. Bevin, that was tremendous.
Thank you.
Right? Thank you
Marty.
both so much for being on Marty's Corner. This is such, they are a scream, the two of them on stage. You got to come down and see Bye Bye Birdie. We're playing straight through Wednesday to Sunday through September 1st. And we can't wait to see you at the Argyle Theater.